All right, we're live.
Perfect.
All right, yeah. So what's the latest? What's been going on?
Yeah, with me, what's been going on mostly? I mean, the dreaded keyword changes have finally taken place
Oh,
within Google. The first week we didn't see a massive change, but this past week we saw increased cost per leads, costs and calls and everything, and the leads are not as good quality.
yeah,
So because the close rate's a lot lower, and we're getting guys that are just yeah, struggling. They're stressful for the sales team. So
yeah,
yeah, just trying to step up the organic. I was supposed to start um Ed's film booth that I got on the YouTube channel,
oh
his
yeah.
program a couple days ago. He was supposed to send me an email with like, it was supposed to start on the 11th. He didn't send me an email, so I sent him an email yesterday asking him what's up. But so I'm doing his program thing. You know Clark Cagley?
Uh-uh.
You don't? Oh, yeah.
No.
He's in the self-development niche. He has a pretty big channel, over 1 million subscribers. I know him from some other stuff in the past too. And I joined his program, his main one, Metamorphic, it's a pretty good program. But then he like he's doing a YouTube course too, and he just gave me that for free. I was like, oh, thanks. Yeah. So I've been
Oh, cool. Okay.
going through that as well. And I'm just trying to I'm choosing to expand on more than just men's marriage, like definitely helping men's relationships too, but just like, guys in relationships, right? Like broke with my ex. And the idea here is that I'm trying to attract, so I basically went through all the competitors. It's the typical thing you do with a new channel. Like went through all the competitors, pick their top videos, put it on a spreadsheet. I'm going to be recording videos based off those titles, just trying to make them better than the ones that are, have millions of views. And then ideally that'll really grow the channel fast. And from there, they can, if I bring in, let's say, a video that has 100,000 subscribers and 1,000 men are in marriages, right? They watch my other content. They're like, oh, I'm gonna set up a call with this guy. So that's the plan for organic, to start really getting these leads coming in to kind of offset the ad problems.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's been my main focus. This is what I really want to talk about. I talked to you about the back end offer and developing that. Did I mention that to you yet?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think so.
Exciting and also stressful, but yeah, so I'm developing the backend offer as a project. And so I talked to a bunch of other people in masterminds who created masterminds. I interviewed previous one-on-one clients that would be ideal fits for the mastermind. I asked them a bunch of questions, put it on a sheet. And we're just right now, me and Marco and Antonia, our other operations manager, we're debating on the components that go into it. And we pretty much consistently agree, except for one component, which is like the one-on-one coaching component, where Antonia wants it like to be like they get like just like supreme premium one-on-one coaching across the whole entire program. And Marco's like, that's not going to improve our margins. I want our margins to be 80% on this. And so there's like a debate between that
Yeah.
and that. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. Like I can tell you more about it if you want, but I'm, as far as like problems or like things that I'm kind of curious about, I don't really have any questions on it, to be honest. Right now, I'm just, yeah, like I created a presentation on it yesterday. I'm gonna give that presentation to like in the group calls that I do, since there's
Yeah.
some men who want to stay on and hear about it, to get some initial interest. And then from there, yeah, kind of just start it out and just see what happens. My biggest concern is just like in the marketing aspect is like, how do I market in a way that they'll see like a positive ROI? Because like with business masterminds, right, it's
Mhm.
like we're gonna, Cole Gordon, for example, like he crushes it with his, I think he makes 13 million a year off his alone. He, he can show like, oh, you're gonna make this much more money. You're gonna go from, $100,000 a month or a year to a million a year, right? And or two
Right.
or three. And for like this kind of like self-development based mastermind, it's like, what are the tangible benefits they're getting, right? So
So this is a continuation after they do the marriage program. Like that's kind of the idea of this, or is this
I
separate
mean,
as well?
the whole premise, like if you look, your Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like,
Right.
like relationships and love are like the middle rung. Then you have self-esteem and self-actualization. And so the idea here from that model is that like, yeah, we help them with their marriage. And even guys who maybe haven't fully saved their marriage, but they just bought into the idea of like, oh, this is more about developing myself as a man.
Yeah.
They bought, so like clients who buy into that idea and our ethos, it's like, okay, yeah, now we're gonna they kind of love me, what I do in the company. They're like, I want more, right? I want to develop
Okay.
myself. And so it's just, they don't have to have results with their wife, but
but they still, yeah, okay. This is what we were talking about a month or so ago about doing something like this, where
Yeah.
either way, win or lose. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's yeah, I think the thing as far as like selling it and the ROI on it is that, I mean, I think it comes down to a couple of things. I mean, one of them is that relationships are the most important thing in your life. And like, if you're in a rocky relationship, you're not going to make money. Like you're going to be stuck. Like it's going to be very difficult for you to increase your wealth and to, do good at your job, increase your career. And then I think the other aspect of it is, I mean, it's very similar, is the idea that, developing yourself as a man is what's going to allow you to make the most money, right? In fact, it's kind of interesting. I was watching a video from this guy. I've been watching some videos on YouTube, Dan Coe, and he had this video about, I think it was like how to make, let me see what the video was called. Where is that? I think it was a new video. I can't find it now. It was basically like how to make $10,000 a month this year. And maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was someone else who did this video. Actually, maybe it was someone else. But the whole thing with this, I was waiting for some kind of strategy, but the whole thing was focus. And it was all about like going into monk mode, right? Like monk mode, like focus, like these specific behaviors of making commitments and all those things. And so it wasn't really like a business strategy. It was more about personal development. And so I think you can kind of take that same angle where it's like, if you want to make more money, it begins with the self, with personal development. Like I could tell you tactics, I could tell you, ways to build a business or to make more money in your career. But if you don't have your shit together as a man, then none of that's going to matter. I think that's kind of, where you can kind of go to give people the value or let them see the value of how this is going to make me money.
Yeah. I have a competitors list, and like, I mean, the main competitor, I think, who's crushing it with this kind of model is like Wake Up Warrior, right?
Yeah.
So looking at a lot of the things he says, and it is kind of like an all-encompassing, just going to become a better man. And like, I think he has the three B's or something, like business, body, and something. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. And I think it's just about getting the first batch of guys in and like, getting good results. And I want to do like in-person meetups, and develop this. And I think the only question I would ask you specifically is like, maybe if I might have asked you this last episode, just you don't have to answer it if you remember answering it already, but like, as far as components, like what we're thinking is like the 2 in-person meetups, Zoom meeting per month, like 2 hours long, like pretty long, teaching the new material, plus just like, just talking to each other and, helping each other out. We have the group chat. We want to give them some additional support, like with some coaching calls as well, to kind of just like, halfway through the month, maybe have a coaching call with one of our coaches, like, okay, here's your goals you set, like what's going on with it. So like heavy accountability.
Right.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's all you really need. Like, I think I don't think, I think it's better to keep it as simple as you can.
What about, so for pricing, like, I'm debating where we should put it at. I see the value massively. Obviously I'm biased as I'm creating it, but I truly do know the results of these men. Like I really literally can reshape their lives in a year, and the bonds they'll make with these other men that are high value guys as well, like bringing them up and like teaching them stuff. Like everyone's just like making each other better and just like meeting up in person and doing this like deep experiential work. And like, I know the value that comes from that. It's hard to really quantify. But I want it to be worth 20K for the year, but we might start with like 10, 15. What do you think?
I mean, I would go with at least 20K for the year, because if you took, like a monthly coaching client, like for me, a monthly coaching client is $1,500 a month, right? That's up there. What's that? 15, like 18K per month. I mean, per year, right? That's for coaching. That's not all of those. That's one call per month. That's not all this stuff. Like this stuff is more valuable. I think 20, and a lot of masterminds are in the, 30 to 60K range.
Yeah, I think Cole Gordon's is like 5K a month or 6K a month, depending on how much money you make.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the thing about it too is it's like what determines the price is not necessarily the value so much as the audience, right? So if you've got people that are making good money, that are successful entrepreneurs, and that's your target, then paying 20K for the year is going to seem cheap, right?
Yeah, we
If
do
you've
want to
got-
make this
yeah.
for more of a mass audience, but like I think at first we are gonna, handpick guys who are way more, successful. And
Yeah. But if you make it for blue collar workers, then $500 a month is going to seem like a ridiculous price.
yeah,
So
that's a good point. Yeah. I think, we do want to, I think like anything else, we start off with niche down premium kind of like guys,
Yeah.
and then make it more mass audience as we develop it and create, like maybe there's like videos involved and just like package it more. Then we can kind of take it to more mass audience. But I think at the beginning, we're going to definitely handpick guys who are way more successful, like entrepreneurs, business owners, doctors, lawyers, etc.
yeah. I think you should make a requirement that in order to join, someone has to be making six figures. I mean, it probably needs to be more than that if it's 20K for the year, right? Because probably really needs to be like 200K. I mean, technically someone could join that's making 100,000 a year, but
Yeah.
it'd be a squeeze, I feel like, right? 20% of their income
Yeah.
post-tax.
I think a lot of these things just fall into place, honestly. But like at the same time, it's good to talk about just to kind of
Yeah.
flesh it out and like reinforce this idea. I got really good feedback from, I talked to a previous client yesterday, and he's a lawyer and super cool guy in San Francisco and very spiritual. And he was just like, one thing he said, and it was like, it really kind of got to me. He was like, I goes, Josh, if I join something like this, I would want to make sure that you're not just kind of squeezing this in. Like I can tell that this is something that you're making.
Yeah.
For me, like especially
Yeah.
that price point. Like, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So not that I would squeeze it in, but like, I mean, like, it's just good to like make sure that that's like on top of mind.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it too, that's the thing about it is like, okay, what does it take in order for it to be like your whole main focus, right? If you got 10 guys at 20K, that's only $200,000 in a year. It's not worth being your main focus, right? If you had 100 guys at 20K and you're going to do, $2 million, then you could pretty much just make that your entire focus of the entire year. Right. So I think those things make a difference too.
Yeah. I mean, developing the content can be some time intensive. Just the one group call, like talking to these guys on the group chat shouldn't be too time intensive. Setting up the in-person meetings, that will take a lot of time because I want to do that really good. But yeah, other than that, I mean, some marketing materials. Yeah, I don't think it's super time intensive. I mean, once I develop the content, at least the content will be the most time intensive thing, like developing like these PowerPoints and videos and stuff like that, and creating it all together. And but yeah, I think once it's going, it wouldn't be too hard to manage, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always want to improve it, right, and like make it better. And yeah, I mean that's what's going on in our world. Just like basically same thing. Now the ads keywords are being changed. We are testing some YouTube short stuff. We've been doing Instagram Reels ads too as well, and I'm not sure about TikTok yet. I saw a case study the other day that was like, but it was for a product. I think they're good for products. TikTok is, but for service, not so much maybe yet. Especially the audience. But yeah. What about you?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I had like a crisis on Monday, this Monday. I mean, I've been taking some time off, and then like I came back to start working on Monday, and I just was like super depressed. I was like, man, I really don't want to do this anymore. Like I didn't want to make videos. I didn't want to like do Bulldog Mindset. I didn't want to do coaching. And I don't know, I was trying to figure out how to almost like get out of it, right? Like what can I do to, I think part of it too is just because like it sucked. Like I'm looking at the sales numbers, and all the sales basically dried up in December. which I'm like, what the fuck, what's going on? I just hired a marketing manager, $5K a month, and then I've got 2 copywriters, and so I just up my expenses, and as soon as I up my expenses, of course the money dries up. So now I'm like, shit. So I was kind of like looking at, okay, well, what can I do? Can I cut everyone, like get rid of all my staff except for a video editor, which I could, and I'd be fine. Like everything, all the staff that I have is designed to essentially grow the company, right? So they're not necessary to maintain the company, right? So that's a possibility. I mean, I guess I'll see what happens, but I really just was like at this point where I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. And so I was trying to figure out, is this just how I feel now, or is this, this has been kind of a long.
Did something bring that on?
I think taking the break from it for a while and realizing that I enjoyed taking the break, and yeah, and then also just seeing the numbers go down, where I'm like, well, shit, this sucks. Like, at least if we're making all the sales, then it's worth it. But and really my tasks aren't even that much in the business because I've delegated so much of it. But I don't know, I was just kind of having this idea of like, okay, maybe I should just shut everything down. And then
do you remember a time in the previous 2-3 years, let's say 3 years, where you were happiest, where like things were like, not even like, man, money could be a part of that, but just you were enjoying waking up every day and what you were doing with the business? Or which time was the peak for you?
Yeah, I don't know if it was in last year. I mean, there's definitely been some small phases of time, I think, in that time period, but maybe the peak was when I was doing like 1 video or like 2 videos a day, just like doing videos wherever I went when it was back before it really became Bulldog Mindset, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely been off and on for a long time, right? And I think part of it too is it's like, and I kind of talked about this, is it's like I feel like the work I'm putting out is not, it's just kind of rushed work, you know what I mean? So it doesn't bring satisfaction, right? Because it's not like art that and it's weird too, because I like see all these people that are surpassing me now that I was I was way ahead of them, and now they're surpassing me. And it's because they focused on the art and I focused on the production.
Well, like, what do you mean? Like, who's passing you? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm trying to think like, well, like Clever Kazi, like Clever Programmer, like, well, I mean, he's got 1 million subscribers on his YouTube channel, but I don't know, some personal development people that were smaller, that I'm trying to think of like exact ones, but I mean, even as when even when Tom Bilyeu and Alex Hormozi got started, I had them on my channel when they were like had little channels, right? And it was like, and then they blew up past me, but I had been already doing it for 7 years and they just started. And
Well,
even,
I mean, when you look at those guys, John, like, can you, I mean, in personal psychology, can you tell what they are doing that kind of leads to that?
yeah, it's creating good stuff, right? It's to focus on the art, right? Not on necessarily the business side of things, right? That's.
Can I speak to something about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Personal opinion.
Yeah.
I asked you like what personally like you were happiest is because like I think one thing that they have, I mean, like you're just as intelligent as they are. And I know this because I know you pretty well. And I know their level of intelligence. It's not intelligence. It's, I think what it is like, because you're like losing this like drive to even do this is like the passion.
Yeah.
Like that people feel that on the camera, right?
Yeah. And I think that passion comes from, and that's why I was trying to kind of trace it down, because I got a little bit of my mojo back the last couple of days, right? And there's multiple threads that are going on here, but I think one major one is that it's like when I was kind of really growing Bulldog Mindset initially, and I was excited about it, it was when I was like on the path of personal development and growth myself, like on that new path of discovering all these books, discovering all these things, going out and practicing game, you know what I mean? And overcoming my fears and social anxiety and stuff like that. And so it was just like, every day it was like the message I was giving myself to push through to get to the point I wanted to get to was inspiring to me. Whereas now it's like, I don't know, I'm more in my comfort. I mean, it's not like I'm totally in my comfort zone, obviously. I'm going to, after this call, I have to go run 10 miles in the mountains, and I ran 10 yesterday. I have to do 20 on Sunday. I'm definitely busting my ass. But I think part of it too, I think the other thread of it is that, I mean, one thread is I don't really have something that I'm super passionate about that I'm, like I'm not really super passionate about the real estate and finance stuff right now.
Well, like, I mean, you want to help people that are like your previous self, right? That's what you're, and you struggle with a lot of different areas with the health, with the finances, with the psychology, all of it, right? And like,
it's like a full transformation is really what I should be doing for but because I think one thread of it is, like I said, is I don't really have the thing that I'm super interested in that I'm creating content on. I'm just sort of creating content based on what I think will do well, or some pieces, like I have to get the content done. And then the second thing, which is kind of related to it, is that the stuff that I am producing is not of the quality that makes me excited and passionate about what I'm doing, right? Like my Instagram account just like blew up, right? I got over 200K followers on Instagram now, like blew up by 50, 60K in the last month. I had a couple of viral videos go, and they're all right. I mean, it's like, but it's not, I just still don't feel like the videos are like of the quality that I want.
when you create them, are you just kind of like checking off the box, or are you like, is that why, like, okay, I got it done, like I did just enough to get this good enough to be done, right? Like,
for the most part, yeah.
That's how I am too. And for me, it's like there's this internal pressure to like, I gotta get the video out there to like produce the result and get money into the company. And I don't know if that's where it's coming from you, but it's
almost like, and then there's so much craft in this business and the other business and so much stuff going on that I'm just like,
how much one-on-one time do you have with clients, like talking to them?
I mean, a pretty good amount, because I do coaching every Wednesday. So I have, but again, I'm not really, I don't know. I kind of see that sometimes as a distraction because it like takes up my day, and it's like, and then I have other things that I need to focus on. So I don't know. I just,
it's so important to have a pulse on.
Yeah. But it's like I almost want to like start over clean and start a new business, but
I literally fantasize that, like, about that literally every day.
I just wish I had a very specific niche that I could just obsess about, read articles about, read books about, and just produce fucking good content on that, right? Which, I mean, and I say that as if I don't have a magic genie that can do that, because I can literally do that if I really want to. But it's just, I was talking to someone about this, one of my coaching clients, and I was like, part of the problem is that he was saying, what's the mindset shift between becoming an employee, being an employee, and then become an entrepreneur and become successful and millionaire? And I was like, well, now you have all this shit that you don't want to lose, right? Like you built this empire and you want to maintain, like, you don't want to just, like, you have the freedom, but you don't want to exercise the freedom, because exercising the freedom means you're going to let this castle you built rot. And that sucks, right? So it's like, I could start over fresh, but if I did, I would leave all of this behind.
This may be completely off base here, but it just came from my mind, so I'm just gonna share. I love Alan Watts, right? Have you ever listened to Alan Watts at all?
Oh yeah, Alan Watts stuff.
Okay, you love Alan. Okay, cool. He talks about just follow me here. He talks about in one of his lectures. I've heard the story so many times. He talks about, he's like, if you were God, right? If you were God, John, and you would first sit there in eternal bliss and oneness and blah, right? And eventually you get bored. And then so you create components of yourself that are parts of you, but you would forget who you really are.
Right.
And at first you would, you would experience all the emotions of all the money, sex, and pleasure, and then all the pain and every emotion you could possibly experience, every possible perspective. And ultimately you come to the decision where you would want to be where you are right now, listening to my voice. And that he says it more articulately or whatever,
Yeah.
but basically what I'm trying to say is, like, with the business perspective, like, I think if you were to start your own business and go and do this all over again, I think you would realize that you would want to build it back to where it is currently now.
Yeah, there's I thought about that too, right? I was like, okay, like this is a pretty good fucking starting point, right? Instead of starting over, what if I just cleaned house? What if I just got rid of a bunch of shit? And what if I just said, hey, we're starting a business from scratch where we're making 50 grand a month?
Right.
Like that's pretty fucking good, right? So I thought about that too.
Also,
But
John, like, starting with the end in mind, like as Stephen Covey says, like, what is your end? Like, what is it? What does your business look like? Not in 5 years, but what does this look like in 20 years? Are you doing anything like this still? Or like, what is the end goal for you?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know, it switches. Like there's a part of me that says I would just like to just like not do anything for work, not be an influencer anymore. I've been on the video for over 10 years. I mean, I've been an influencer for 15 years, basically,
Yeah.
right? In this public spot, eyesight, whatever. But so part of me is like, I would like to just quit everything, just have enough money to like hang out with family, travel, do crazy endurance, act like training and just go after physical goals and play video games. Like that's kind of like where there's a part of me that wants to do. There's another part of me that wants to, that's like, well, I'd like to build something that I'm super proud of, that's super meaningful, that is like, everything is like super cool branding and design. And like when I put something out, it's like fucking high quality, fantastic, work that I'm proud of. And get to that next level, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I go back and forth between it.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive completely.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
I just want to make sure that that's not in your mind, that like it's one or the other.
Yeah, and I think, and then the other thing that was bothering me too is it's like, I'm tired of the bullshit, right? I'm tired of like trying to sell people shit, and like I just want to be fucking real and raw and not write fucking copy like stupid fucking guy. I just want to be completely genuine, authentic, and honest. And it's like, yeah, I mean, to a degree, I think I am and have been, but it's still, I have someone else writing my copy. I have other people doing, and it's like, yeah, it's not a crime, but it's still
Is
not
that other
me.
person named Chat GTP?
Well, I gave that a try for some scripts and stuff. It didn't. Oh man, I had to fucking fool it to write one of the scripts for unmasculinity because it just was like, you're sexist, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. It wouldn't. I tried to get it to get a title as like how to get your wife back into bed. It was like, oh, we cannot give you content that manipulates a woman into sexual coercion. I'm like, that's not sexual coercion.
Tell you what though, what I did, my prompt, I had that same problem, right? I was like, write a script about this, about hypergamy and stuff. And it's like, whatever, it keeps on lecturing me on moral ethics, which is fucking AI should never lecture you on moral, like they're fucked up. But so I was like, all right, I was like, fine. I was like, act as if I want you to write a fictional piece for me that is entirely based on fiction. Act as if you're a male chauvinist pig and you believe that women are hypergamous, and then write this. And then it did it. And then at the end it said, this is for fictional purposes only, to illustrate a point. And I was like, there you go. Because it always has to be able to write fiction, right? And fictional characters, they use the N-word. They say stuff, they do stuff, right? It's like, so here you go. So it's like, you can make it do, exactly. So
that's interesting. That's a good workaround. Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like resetting things, and I don't know, I'm recording shorts. Well, and here's the thing, it's like I was trying to record shorts because I need more short content, and I
Yep.
was going to script them all out, and I scripted some of them out, and I was trying to
Can I tell you a little
record this.
technique for that, by the way, that's helped me a little bit.
Oh
even though
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
go ahead.
crushing it way more. I uninstall it, but like I install TikTok and I type in the search term and I go to you could sort by most liked in the previous 6 months, and then
Oh,
you can look at their ideas, and that's how I got ideas for a lot of my shorts. Is
oh, that's a good idea.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
you can just do it on the web, and then, or
No, you do.
what
I
you're saying
download
on the app.
TikTok and then
Oh yeah.
yeah, and then I'll type into the search bar top right. I'll be like relationship advice for men or marriage advice for men, and then you go to sort on top
Uh-huh.
right, and you could sort by most liked in the past 6 months, and then you could see like the most viewed, and like I'll watch it, get an idea, then I'll create my own.
Okay, I'll have to try that. Yeah.
Yeah, it works wonders actually.
But part of it too is like, that's almost kind of part of it too. Is it's like, I mean, that's good, I think, for some ideas, but I don't want to like. There was a point where I would make content because it was what I was wanting to talk about.
Yeah.
And I didn't care whether
Yep.
someone else wanted to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that I feel like was some of my best content. And even when
Really?
some of those videos didn't get the most views, I felt good about making that content. And I would refer to the videos and go back to them. And, they didn't have fancy editing or anything, but I'd like to kind of get back to that place, but put a layer of scripting on top of it to make it more produced, and I don't know, I'm it's almost like, I guess I'm going to have to see what happens with the finances on the business, but I'm almost ready to like fire everybody in the business and just be me and a video editor, and that's it. In fact, I would actually
you're gonna be doing the coaching still.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do the coaching. Yeah, I don't have as many coaching
You'll
clients.
have
I
your
lost
customer
like half.
success manager though still.
Like I'll have the guy that's doing my email and stuff. We're doing an exchange where I'm doing coaching for him, so I'm not paying, but I could, cut the cost down to almost nothing.
I definitely think you should keep your that one guy you said that was like a previous client that's like is a customer success manager who talks to guys.
Yeah.
That helps reduce refunds a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's really good. So
Cool.
But like I said, I'm not paying him. I'm just I'm doing an exchange of coaching, so that's not difficult. But I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with but I definitely want to revamp things, and I'd like to just have a clean, simple. Actually, there's someone. Let me send you this guy. I kind of want to do what this guy is doing. I talked to him about him before, Dan Coe. Like, I just love the way he's producing content and the style of the content that he's producing, and then just the kind of stuff that he's making, right? It's like, it's really like, just personal improvement, personal development.
Oh, I literally saw his videos popping up recently.
Yeah.
I've watched one for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's got it's not just like, necessarily the content. It's like just the way that he's applying everything, and he's got a fairly simple, streamlined business that he's building off of creating good. And he doesn't even have that many videos, you know what I mean? So he's spending a lot of time on each video. Yeah.
So he has a content course. He's a bunch of links.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I just want to simplify things and get back to
like become minimalistic with the business.
Yeah, it's almost like I'd even like to do my own editing. The problem though is that, I mean, I used to be a good editor, but I haven't edited videos in such a long time that I would have no idea what I'm doing. But
I mean, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, but I think though, it's almost like I don't necessarily have to have the editing skills. I just have someone who's skilled enough of an editor that I can express to them what I want, and then take the time. Like, I could literally record me watching the video and saying, okay, here I want to have like some kind of animation that does this, and I want it, or someone who even kind of just gets that from the get-go. But if you look at it, like the best YouTubers are honestly the people who edit their own stuff, right?
For the longest time, yeah. But like Alex doesn't edit his own stuff. Tom doesn't edit his own stuff. Those guys you just mentioned, right? So
Yeah, but Alex is not the best YouTuber. Right? Like Alex has really good content, like what he has to say is really good,
right.
but his videos are not really good.
Yeah. I mean, depends on the
Right?
style of video you're going for here, John. At Clark's course, he talked about this. There's different tiers of videos you make, and as far as time and effort that can meet certain amount of views. Are you going? But in all types of different content can build a massive subscribers, right? So you have like
Right.
Matt D'Avella is like S tier vlog style, like documentary style videos, right? And then you have like a step below that, it's like talking head with maybe some different camera angles, some B-roll, and then some studies. Like you have Jeff Nippard, basically, he's like A to S tier, right?
Right.
Content. And then you have like content I make is like B tier. It's like me and you. It's like that's just like I'm talking. There's some video clips, maybe a couple studies thrown in there, some good stories, like some good text effects. Like that's like B tier. And then you go down and down and down. But like what level of content you're trying to make? Because if you're trying to make S tier, then yeah, finding a good quality editor is going to cost you like $500 per video.
Which is fine. I mean, I've got a guy here locally that I just talked to, and I was gonna pay him $2,500 per video to shoot the video
Whoa.
and edit the video. Right. So yeah. It's a lot, but it's also not a lot. Cause I was thinking about this and I was like, this is so stupid how little I'm spending on making videos, right? Because if he shoots the video, if I script it and then he shows up for a day to help me shoot the video and then edits the whole thing and makes a masterpiece of work, and I put out one video per month and that video gets 100,000, 200,000 views, that's so much smarter than what I'm fucking doing now, paying, $50, $100 per video and not getting shit for it. Right. It's like,
there is a huge risk there, like you gotta make sure the title and the thumbnail and the idea of the video will be viral-ish.
But if you think about it, like I'm investing so much on other stuff. I'm paying, marketing managers like $5,000 a month and copywriters $2,000 a month, and like all these other roles where it's like, someone actually producing the video, that's the big friction point is. I don't know. That's what kind of thing. And
the
then
biggest
doesn't necessarily
bottleneck is like the marketing attracting new people to you and your face and your company.
Is what?
That's the biggest bottleneck is like bringing people in organically, like marketing.
The thing is, I'm getting so much organic reach on TikTok
and TikTok and Instagram.
I mean, no, on Instagram. I mean, I literally am at 202,000 followers on Instagram now. Yeah. For some reason, I'm just blowing up on Instagram. It's just insane.
Consistency,
I don't know.
man. Look at that. It's like just consistency.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like a lot of the stuff I put on Instagram are crap too. But some of the dating stuff is like it just blows up.
It just catches. Yeah.
What's that?
It just catches. Like
yeah, it just catches, and I don't know. I still can't figure it out. I think maybe when people first see my Instagram reel, they think I'm John Bernthal or something, and that's why
I don't know who that is.
But advantage, but the guy from Walking Dead and like Punisher.
Oh, okay. I see a little bit of that. I guess.
But I don't know. I don't know what it is. But yeah. But that's the other thing that's frustrating too. Is it's like I have all these leads coming in from Instagram, and we're making less sales. And it's like I go back to the sales team, and they're like, "Well, the YouTube leads are so much more valuable."
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, but we got so many Instagram leads, like, and so many people sell off of Instagram, but I guess not business stuff. I guess dating stuff. I guess, I mean, some business stuff, but
yeah. Instagram. I don't know what it is, but I think the longer form content just like maybe weeds out people who aren't serious, and also like it just they have more trust with you too, so their buying temperature is way higher when they come onto the call. I think that's. Yeah, they're more exposed to you, and because with Instagram, like when you go through someone's Instagram page, it's like you scroll, you're not seeing titles of the show, you're not seeing titles of what they're talking about. You kind of watch a couple videos, right? And then you're like, oh, this is interesting, sure, I'll check it out. But with like YouTube, it's like I'm gonna binge this guy's content like minutes and minutes and minutes, and you're like, oh, I like this guy, and like I trust him, and he's an expert, and like so they get on the call, they're stoked, right? They're like, I'm already pre-sold basically. So
yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know, I was just hoping that the sales could just continue to cruise so that I could have the time to reorganize the stuff and start creating high quality content. But if that doesn't fall in line, then I'm going to have to like clean house and then do that. Because I think I mean, ultimately I have to do that. And then the other thing about it too is like, where is my real focus, right? This has always been my problem with Bulldog Mindset, is that it's been kind of all over the place with fitness and health and dating and pickup and game, and then, you know, finances and financial freedom and stuff like that. But I think that, I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers and stuff that are hitting all those things. It's just that if you're going to do that, you have to tell really good stories and create really good, where it's almost like no matter what this guy puts out, it's going to be interesting to me. If it's on weight loss, I'm interested in that, right? If it's on
the guy that does that more
money,
than better than most people right now, like in a similar vein, is like Hamza, even though he speaks to a younger audience, like he's memes and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I mean, he has his transformation. He talks about wealth, body, and woman, and I think one thing he does really well, I was really deconstructing him and why he was so successful. The authenticity, obviously, so like leaning into that, like you were saying. People always say super genuine, super authentic, telling stories, but he also creates that like that villain, and then that like the hero, the archetype, right? Like you want to become Adonis, right? You don't want to be Jeffrey. And it's like that clear like villain and hero is like something I've heard in marketing ad nauseum, like over and over. Create the hero, create the villain, right? It's like, and like I know something that you, I think, is congruent with your beliefs is like, you know, let me test this with you. Who is the villain that Andrew Tate talks about?
The Matrix.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So all these top people that are viral, they have the clear enemy in mind, right? And so for you, it's like, is there attack on masculinity? Who's attacking masculinity, right? And like, who wants to make us weak? And like leaning into that and putting some of that in your content as well, and seeing how that kind of sticks.
Yeah, that's true. But again, too, I want to be careful to not use tactics. Although, I mean, I think that can be done in such a way that it's not a tactic, that it's like just something you deeply thought about. And
I mean, do you believe that there is some, not like a villain out like a single person, but there is like, you know, like not want to say going down feminism, but like, you know, there is like this a vast majority of people don't understand the detrimental effects of tampering down what it means to be really a man, like having aggression, like, you know, that healthy outlet for that.
I mean, there's two villains, right? It's like you've got it on both sides. I think it's the politically correct, you know, leftist, feminist, woke culture, right? You could say. And then the other side is the manosphere, the red pill woman hating, you know, people who actually,
we're very aligned in all this, John, like super aligned, man, like absolutely. Like when I see a feminist video, I'm just like, you know, like white man privilege, blah blah blah. I'm just like, and then I see like a guy like, you know, like Sneeko, right, like saying like, oh, all women are this, like all modern women are this. It's like both sides are like, no, you're both fucking wrong. You're both coming from hate and like ignorance, you know. So.
Exactly, right. And I was just about to say, like, the real path is like the Alan Watts path. It's like that's the thing. It's like, that's why it's like they're both wrong, is because anything that is breeding hatred, that's like hating on people, is not like, anything that's not the path of love is not the way, right? And it's like, you know, bringing that into masculinity is important though, right? Because it's like, I think a lot of guys, they're nice guys because they actually think they're being kind and loving, but they're actually, that's the opposite, right? Because they're being weak and they're harming people with their weakness. And that is not,
that's a perfect short you can make or video right there, that topic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like why nice guys aren't actually nice, or something like that. Or why nice guys are the biggest assholes of them all. Ooh, that would be a good one.
I did some content like that, and I definitely got some views on that. Right?
Yeah.
I've got one where I talk about don't be nice, be kind, right? That's the difference between that. Like, which I think is good. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of just where I've been at, just kind of stuck at. Again, like I feel like if I were, you know, if I have a magic wand and I'm like, well, what do I really want to do as far as content, is I want to obsess about different things and focus on those things and create content on those things, which is kind of what made, you know, the appeal of that Dan Koe guy. is that he's got different things he's obsessing about and then making content on, and it's good, and it's like, so, I'm running that 100K right now, like, like that whole idea of being mentally tough, and why are you doing this, and what are you, the deeper side of things. I think part of it too, it's just been, I've also been disconnected because and there was part of it, like when, when I was going out and gaming and stuff, that I had that drive of personal development of trying to like almost prove myself, right? And it's like,
oh, it's because you got married. I got it.
right. Well, it's the same journey. It's like I say, that Hamza and First Man are on, right? I'm past that journey now, and now where, it's not quite the same push or drive. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
So
like
it's like,
I'm in this relationship with this woman, and I think I'm gonna marry her, pretty sure. And like I'm doing this now marriage space thing, relationships,
right.
right? And I'm talking about, and I was actually doing a video topic right now on Jordan Peterson. I looked up a bunch of his top marriage advice and relationship advice, and it kind of is like opening my eyes that like he talks about, he like talks about like the truth and order and chaos. He's basically saying that like there are personality components to who you are, right? That can never be exposed unless you're in a romantic relationship, because that shit you can
Yes.
if you're never get
Yeah.
close to someone, you can keep that shit buried down. But when you're with
Absolutely.
someone every single day, and then that shit's gonna come up, right?
Yeah.
And through dialectic conversation, right, you get to find truth and work it out between the two of you, and thus grow even further. And that's why I think people like Andrew Tate, hot take here, Andrew Tate, he actually, he has a lot right, but and stuff he has wrong is like, I would argue as a psychologist that he chooses not to get close to women and be monogamous with a woman because there's aspects of himself that he doesn't like, that he doesn't want exposed.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's very true. I mean, those things do.
I think the highest paradigm of development is being in a long-term relationship. I really do. I've been struggling with this idea.
Yeah.
Actually, Jordan, one of the clips I'm going to put in there, he's like, being married is an awful idea. It's not a good choice, but the alternative, it's far worse. It's like, it's true, and it's like, it's almost like a civic duty to society, that the bedrock of our culture is like being in a monogamous relationship. It makes kids better. Like the science proves that. So like, it is a sacrifice to choose one woman for the rest of your life. But the alternative with our structures of our culture is, it's narcissistic, it's selfish, it's also depleting with you. It lacks meaning. It's like, so
yeah, you can't really complete your growth unless you, in the monogamous relationship. I agree. I think
you can have your own your own ethics and morals and boundaries within that. Like maybe there is some like extra stuff that you guys do like sexually with other partner, but like, I mean, I think the whole,
I don't think you can even do that. I don't think
so either. I think
if you go that road, you're doomed.
I lean more towards the being exclusive, making that sacrifice. It's almost like you can choose to watch porn every day, right? But like, is it that bad? It's like you feel that the depletion. I think it's the same thing with like sleeping with another woman. There's something spiritual that happens when you like give yourself to someone else when you're in a relationship with one another person.
Yeah. Well, I think the level of intimacy too, right? It's like you cannot, I mean, you can be married to someone and be in a monogamous relationship with them and have a low degree of intimacy and live your separate lives and come together and get along and and whatnot. But if you want to have the deepest level of intimacy, it's going to require complete sexual exclusivity and complete honesty in exactly in how you're operating, right? Which would exclude porn and all any of those things, because those things would be like, if you think about it, it's like, if you're doing those things, if your partner were doing those things, would that breach your intimacy or trust with them? If it would, then anything that you do that would breach that is also, you have to distance yourself in order to be able to participate in that activity, because you cannot be that close to a person knowing that your actions would damage them if they really knew the real you. So you have to create a distance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But Andrew definitely misses out on that piece of it. Although I do suspect that he is in a long-term monogamous relationship and doesn't, but maybe I'm wrong, but
maybe. And some people are even saying that he actually like got fake arrested to as like a marketing strategy.
I don't know. Yeah.
That he actually like chose to do that because like it proves that the Matrix is real, and like all his audience doubled down and he's still in the news. Like some people are saying that like he actually
That's
paid the
interesting.
police to actually get arrested himself.
It's so fucking funny because I remember talking to him back, what, 3 or 4 years ago, and just having a chat with him. Like he had this little ass YouTube channel, right? And we were just shooting the shit about stuff. I had him on my channel, right? We're talking about business ideas and women and stuff like that. And then and now he like Joe Rogan's talking about him and fucking you know what's his name? Rubin Report. He's on the Rubin Report and all the media and stuff like that. It's like, damn, this guy that is just suddenly blown up everywhere.
So I'm
Is
gonna
world famous.
here. Like this could be cognitive dissonance.
Uh
I'll put that out there, but I think the definition of selling your soul
uh
is doing whatever you can, even if there's some internal, there's an internal conflict within your like your soul. Like you feel that when you're doing whatever you can to get money and power.
right. Yeah.
I think if you're doing it from a place of not wanting it, like if you read Michael Singer's book, The Surrender Experiment, have you read that?
Yeah, I read it. Yep.
Like he didn't seek out his success. He
Right.
just kind of like the river of life. I think people who strive for power by it means into an end in itself. I want
Right.
money and power just for the sake of getting money and power. That is like that negative karma, and it kind of does like attack your soul and leaves you feeling empty on the inside. I really do believe that. And
No, I agree. Yeah.
I don't know if he feels that way, but like I'm trying because John, I'm caught between like I want to grow my subscribers, I want to do this, I want to do this.
Right.
There's this other voice in me that's like, dude, just trust the path, trust the process, don't force.
Right.
Stop forcing shit, motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
trust. And I'm like, fuck, okay.
And that's exactly, see, that's where I feel like I've gone far on the other side of it, right? I'm selling this program and it's a good program, don't get me wrong. Like I'm teaching people, but the Well That Never Runs Dry program, but is my heart really, really into it? Am I just trying to like get people into the program in order to sustain the business? Yes. You know what I mean? At this point, right? That's what I'm doing. And it's not to say that I don't have moments where I'm on the calls, where I'm passionate about it, where I just like I'm super amped about shit. But for the most part, I feel dirty, right? I'm like, someone else is writing my copy, someone else is writing my sales pages, right? Someone else is DMing people and getting them on sales calls and selling them on my product. And again, some of that stuff is necessary for business. I get it. Like, but yeah, but
I think part of the issue here too is, and you're hiring a bunch of mercenaries instead of people like in your army, right? Like they're not part of like, are they, maybe some employees are, but are they fully aligned with your mission? Do they even know your mission? I think if they were fully aligned, like these people, like your copywriters, all these things, like fully aligned with you and your company, they're part of you, like in-house, like they're part of your banner. I think it would feel a lot different.
I mean, do I even know my mission though? That's the question.
That's something I can't answer.
Right. That's the thing, is like, that's what it, what really is it? I mean, but I think it is, it is the bulldog mindset, is teaching people to have the bulldog mindset. Right. Yeah. But that is like going after it, like whatever it takes, like, getting rid of the stupid shit in your life and replacing it with discipline and focus. And it's really a path of spiritual enlightenment is really what the mission is.
Can't market that though,
right?
Because people want the money, the woman, and the power on the surface. When they come in behind closed doors along that journey, they learn that it's not the ultimate goal. But you can't tell people that, right? It's like me telling guys on the YouTube videos and the marketing, like on an ad, hey, you don't need to win your wife back. You need to focus on you. They're like, fuck you, I want my wife back. I'm gonna go to the next guy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Good conversation, man. If you want to continue this before next week, let me know. I'm down to talk more about it with you. But otherwise, yeah. Well, maybe we can go on a hike sometime. Maybe Nanny too. Yeah. Oh shit, I didn't know that. You didn't know I was in San Diego? No. What? You didn't tell me. Oh, you thought I was still in Florida? Yeah. Oh no, I've been in San Diego for a long time. Man. Wait, where are you going to? What gym are you going to? I'm going to 24-hour fitness in Ranchos Penasquitos. Rancho Penasquitos? That's like north, isn't it? Yeah, I live in Carmel Mountain area. Okay. Yeah. We should get a workout in then. We're going to hike.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's do some kind of hike or something out here. Yeah,
Okay, sounds good.
yeah. You still in PB?
I am in PB, right on the bay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah, yeah. We'll have to set something up. Maybe next week we can do something, or maybe, well, yeah, probably next week because I got to run today and Sunday and stuff.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Hi, Joe. Sounds good.
All right, Josh. Take care.